Chapter 9, Flowery Monk. Ladies and gentlemen, and now comes Chapter 9, Flowery Monk from Water Margin. Last chapter, I had just finished talking about Jason's first drunken ball, which really had made a big chaos. But the abbot just spared him this time. Jason knew that he had done wrong. He did not dare leave the monastery gate anymore. But then, suddenly one day, when the weather had become warm, it was that kind of weather we often get in Toronto in May time, he left his quarters and strode through the monastery gate again to wander about outside, admiring the picturesque beauty of Mount Wutai. Ah, beautiful. From far down the mountain, a slight sound of hammering, ding, 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 dong, ding, ding, dong, ding, was heard in the air. Jason went back to his quarters and got some silver, which he thrust inside his robe. Then step by step he descended the mountain till he passed the gate which marked the limit of the temple grounds. Just beyond that, to his astonishment, he discovered the settlement of some 500 or 600 families. There were butchers, greengroceries, and even wine shops and noodle shops. Well, my, what a fool am I! If I have known about this place, I needn't be so worried and haven't taken that pail of wine. I could have come down here and bought some for myself. But now I've been holding back so long that it really hurts. Okay. All right, let me see what sort of food can we buy to eat and drink. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we talk back about the noise he had just heard was caused by a big blacksmith there, next to a house with a sign Father and Son Inn, indicating a blacksmith shop there. Oh, good. Now he walked over and found men at work. Dong, 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 ding, dong, dong. Hey there, master, have you got any good steel? The blacksmith looked up at Lou, finding that he had disturbing sight, with the short hair erupting all over his shaving cheeks. He was quite afraid of him. He laid aside his work. Well, take a seat, Your Reverence. What kind of implement have you in mind? I want a monk's staff and sword, Jason said. But do you have any one-class steel? I happen to have some excellent steel here, the blacksmith said. But how heavy would Your Reverence wish the staff and the sword to be? I will make them according to your desire. Well. Jason said, I want a 100 Ketty staff. The blacksmith couldn't help laughing. That's a bit on the heavy side, Your Reverence. I probably couldn't make it. And anyway, how would you ever be able to manage it? Even Lord Guan's longbow dragon saber was only 81. Huh? Do you think I'm not the equal of Lord Guan? Jason didn't agree. He was only but a man after all. Well, how come that the blacksmith knew of Lord Guan, the historical hero in the Three Kingdoms stories? Well, Water Margin was a story happening in Song Dynasty at least almost 900 years after Lord Guan's era. Ladies and gentlemen, just imagine how popular Lord Guan was then. The blacksmith now continued. In this case, according to what they usually say it would be better to make one of 40 or 50 catties. That would be quite heavy enough. All right then, I'll have what you said before, like Lord Guan's weapon, 81 catties. Jason said, too thick and clumsy, your reference, and difficult to use. May I suggest a 62 catty staff made of finely polished steel? But please don't blame me if it's too heavy to use. As of the sword, no need for instruction on that. I shall use only the best steel, of course. All right, how much for the two? Jason asked. I'm not going to bargain. I'll take just 5 taels of silver. 5 taels of silver? It is thin. And if you make them well, there'll be a little bit extra for you. All right, I'll make them at once. Oh, Lu Jishen was very delighted. Well, good man. Now I invite you to drink a cup of wine with me. You go ahead, your reverence. I have important work to do, so count me out. So Lu Jishen left the blacksmith for the wine shop. No more than 30 paces, there was one with a sign hanging under the eaves of a house. Pushing aside the curtain, he entered and sat down. Bang on the table, calling, "Bring me wine!" The shopkeeper looked out from inside. Oh? Oh, I'm sorry, your reverence. My house belongs to the monastery, and so does my capital. The abbot has given orders if we sell wine to any monk from the temple, they'll take back their loan and kick us out of our house. So you have to excuse me. But you can sell me a little bit of wine. I'm not going to tell anyone I got it from you. No, I can't. You have to get it somewhere else, your reverence. I'm sorry, but that's it. All right, I'll go somewhere else then, but later I'll be back, and I'll have a few things to say to you. Then Jishen left, but walking just a few steps, found another. He walked straight in and shouted, "Hey there, bring me some wine, quickly!" So, the other answered, No, your reverence. The abbot has forbidden it. You must know that. Our living is all here. Jason refused to argue and repeated his request 4 or 5 times, but nothing would persuade them to sell a drop of wine to him. Finally, he had to admit defeat, and he got up and left. So difficult to get wine. Well, 4 or 5 wine shops were alike. Finally, he hit upon an idea. I got it. Far away at the corner there, a small inn showing a straw sign. So he entered and sat down, shouting for wine. But this time, Hey there, a wandering monk wants to buy a cup of wine. The innkeeper looked him up and down. Father, where are you from? I'm a pilgrim. I've just arrived in these parts, and I like some wine. Father, if you're one of the community on Mount Wutai, I can't sell you any. Oh, I'm not. So bring me some, quickly. Frightened by Lu Jishen's appearance, and what's more, something unusual in his accent, the countryman asked, How much do you want? Don't bother about how much. Just bring me big bowls. That will be fine. Well, after finishing some 10 bowls, so nice. What meat have you got? Bring me a plate. Earlier on, I had some beef, but I've sold it all. But Jason seemed to detect a smell of meat cooking. Good smell. He went to explore the courtyard. Close to the wall, he found a pot in which meat was being cooked. Hey, I see you have got meat here. Why don't you spare me some, eh? My, ladies and gentlemen, how come that a monk would eat meat? How could he do such a thing? Well, chapter 10 is waiting for you.